On a recent trip to Mexico, I turned on my Tailscale VPN. My IP location is now showing Atlanta, but my GPS location is still in Mexico.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to configure your own personal VPN on a Raspberry Pi using Tailscale. The goal of a personal VPN is to route your internet traffic through your home network no matter where you are in the world. This ensures you always have the same secure, familiar internet experience you enjoy at home. For the setup, we'll use a Raspberry Pi as an exit node. Whether I'm traveling with my iPad or laptop, connecting back to this node allows me to browse as if I were sitting on my own couch. Traditional VPNs often require port forwarding, which can open up security holes in your home network. Tailscale eliminates that risk. Its free tier is incredibly powerful, offering easy-to-use apps for Mac, Windows, iOS, and Linux. I have found it to be the simplest way to get a VPN running on a Raspberry Pi OS. I recommend a Raspberry Pi 3, 4, or 5. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Caroline, and I make Raspberry Pi tutorials, tech tips, and travel adventures. I have my bachelor's and master's degrees in electrical engineering, and I am author of A Woman's Guide to Winning in Tech. If you find this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe for more. This tutorial assumes you already have a basic Pi setup ready to go. If not, check out my previous video on the Raspberry Pi setup linked below and come right back here. For this video, I am going to use my router and I'm going to directly plug in my Raspberry Pi 4 Ethernet port into this router. Now, this is a Raspberry Pi 4. It works great for this project. The Raspberry Pi 3 also works great because it has an Ethernet port. And the Raspberry Pi Zero W, yes, it does work. You can do it over wireless, but you can't do it wired. And I prefer a wired connection because it's more reliable and slightly faster. And as I always like to say, we are starting our screen record portion of this video. I'm on my Raspberry Pi plugged in directly into my router, and this is the default desktop, and you know I'm directly plugged in because I am on a wired Ethernet connection. I'm going to start by opening up my web browser and going to tailscale.com. And from here it says get started. It's free. So I'm going to click on that. I've already created my account, but if you haven't, it will ask you to create an account, and it's free to create an account. And from here, I already have a bunch of machines on here, but I'm going to add one more today so that you guys can see the process. I'm going to hit Add Device, and I'm going to hit Linux Server, because this is a Linux server, and I'm going to scroll down, and I'm going to use my Raspberry Pi as an exit node. And that way, when I want to log into my system or use my home network when I'm not at home, I need to make my Raspberry Pi an exit node. So that's really important. I'm going to scroll down and I want to generate this install script. So let's generate the install script, copy, and then I'm going to open up my terminal, and let's full screen this terminal, and I'm going to right click and paste, and I'm going to install Tailscale right now. And this will take a few minutes, so I will be right back. And we have just finished installing Tailscale on our Raspberry Pi. There was a message on my Raspberry Pi about getting a better performance boost. All right, of course I would like a performance boost. And it took me to this URL, and it says I can optimize, copy that, and I'm going to go back to my terminal and right-click paste. And let's run that. Excellent. And I'm going to go back to my browser. There is a little page here, and I will link to this below. And now we have to enable IP forwarding to advertise this Raspberry Pi as an exit node. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go back to my terminal, and I'm going to right-click, and I'm going to hit paste. And I'm going to hit enter. We have enabled IP forwarding. Excellent. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to advertise this as an exit node. Command is sudo tail set advertise exit node and sudo tail up. To set it as an exit node, then you want to bring it up. So I'm going to hit copy this command since we haven't brought up our Tailscale yet. Right click, and I'm going to hit paste. And I'm going to hit enter. And there we go. Now we have advertised this Raspberry Pi as our exit node, and we have brought it up. In order to finish that off, we need to authenticate. Copy and right click and hit paste. Paste and go. It's asking me to sign back in. Excellent. I will sign in with Google because that's how I've set my account up, but sign in the way you set up your Tailscale account. And now I can choose to connect, and I'm going to hit connect, and my login is successful. Okay, excellent. Now that I'm back, it says success. Okay, excellent. Full disclosure, I did have a DNS issue when I did this install. Did not have it on the previous machines that I did, so it was a little bit confusing to me. So I did troubleshoot the problem, and yes, it was on the internet, but it couldn't resolve any DNSs. To fix that, I ran sudo tailscale up. I want to advertise it as an exit node, and I wanted it to accept DNS equals false. And that seemed to fix the problem, because after I did that, I was able to resolve DNSs once again, and now my Tailscale is up. The goal is to get to Tailscale and look at your list of machines. And so after you have success and you've authenticated and everything, you can go down to your list of machines, and you should see the machine that you just created right here. So mine's called RPI4-VPN, and I'm going to hit these three little dots here, because there's one more step I've got to do. Actually, two more steps I've got to do. Number one, you need to edit your route settings. So we've already advertised this as an exit node, but now I need to make this an exit node. So I'm going to click Use as Exit Node, and I'm going to hit Save. And now it's a choice as an exit node. The other thing is optional that you may or may not want to do is there is a key expiry on here. So it will automatically expire in a few months from now, and then you've got to renew it. But if you just want to just keep it up all the time, I'm going to disable the expiry of my key. That is an option as well if you'd like to do that. So that's how I'm going to do it. From my phone, I'm going to go to the App Store, and I'm going to search on Tailscale, and I'm going to get that app downloaded and installed on my phone. So this is the Tailscale app. I've already got it installed on my phone. So I'm going to hit open. And then from here, you would log in just as you did when you created your account. And then I'm going to hit connect. The default when you first go into your Tailscale app is you're going to have exit node none. When you want to touch the down arrow next to none, and you want to select your exit node. And there you go. Now you're connected via VPN. Now, whenever you leave home, you can simply toggle the Tailscale app on your phone or laptop and take your home network with you.
Here are a few tips for preferred selections on your Raspberry Pi Imager.
On the Raspberry Pi Imager, you can use a Raspberry Pi 5. That's a little bit of overkill, so is a Raspberry Pi 4, but they work great, and that's what I tried it on first. So if you use a Raspberry Pi 4 and hit next, you can choose Raspberry Pi OS 64-bit, and it works great. Now, this is the full operating system with that desktop screen. Now, if you don't want the desktop screen, you can go the light version, but you have to click Raspberry Pi OS Other, and then you have to choose Raspberry Pi OS Lite, and this gives you just the terminal version. So it is very light on your Raspberry Pi. So that works great. Highly recommend that. Now, if you are on a Raspberry Pi 3 and you want to use the light version and you want to plug it in directly into your router, and that's what I'm going to recommend, plugging in your Raspberry Pi directly into your router. At the time of this recording, don't choose 64-bit because for some reason, for me personally, when I chose 64-bit, it deactivated all of my ports. It deactivated the Ethernet port and it deactivated my USB port on my Raspberry Pi 3. It worked fine with Raspberry Pi 4 and 5, but 3 for some reason, so I had to choose Raspberry Pi OS 32-bit, or if you'd like to do the light version, choose Raspberry Pi OS Other, and then you can choose Raspberry Pi OS Lite 64-bit. That works fine, and I tested that out. Now, your other choices are a Raspberry Pi Zero, and that is an option as well, and you can do the 32-bit, or you can do the Raspberry Pi Lite. The Raspberry Pi Lite, there was a little hiccup in trying to get that initial boot. I did have to use a monitor to log in first. Absolutely, you could do this on a Raspberry Pi Zero W, but I am going to choose not to just because I like using that Ethernet port and I want to plug my Raspberry Pi directly into my router. That was a quick lesson on how to set up your Raspberry Pi imager. And I always do use the Raspberry Pi Connect. I realized how vital a home VPN was during a trip to Santiago, Chile. I was at dinner with 2 diplomats when I received an urgent notification that my event tickets had sold back home and I needed to transfer them to the buyer immediately. But I was repeatedly blocked on both the restaurant's Wi-Fi and the local cellular network. It was incredibly stressful. If I had this VPN set up, I could have bypassed those regional restrictions instantly and finished the ticket transfer and really enjoyed my dinner. By the way, they said they were civil servants, not diplomats. If this helped you, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.